Okay friends, here we go. So if you watch the short, you'll know that I've got a box here that is not full of mob grip, but it's actually full of Black Label skateboard decks. So if you're a John Lucero fan, you're gonna love what I've got in here. I've started the cut here, so we're not wasting time doing that. I'm stoked to get into it. So how this came about, I haven't bought decks in a while, but how this came about is my buddy Adam, I met him just through skateboard collecting, buying and selling and stuff. And he has collected a lot of Black Label John Lucero decks in the different variants within that. And so he's starting to move some of them. He's just pivoting a little bit in his collection, and he's starting to move some of these decks. And so he kept throwing them up, and the deals were just getting crazy, and I just had to pull the trigger. So I've had some of these decks in the past, or at least one of them, and did sell it. We're gonna open it up, take a look at it, and then I'll let you know which one it is. But anyways, let's dive into these things. So, oh man, this actually might be trickier than I expected. Just 1 second. Okay friends, sorry, there was a lot more tape and stuff to get on this because the way that it was jammed in the box, I was not gonna get it out. So I've somewhat pulled them out here. You can see, I'll finish it up here hopefully. Yeah, there we go. That is a stack. Adam's always amazing at packing. Good job on the packing. We'll dive into these now. Good thing I kept my knife up here. And let's just burn through this and see. And I'll peel them off one deck at a time. Okay, so I've got most of this tape off. Let's finish unwrapping now. All right, we'll just peel this. I'm gonna just pull this out, get the bubble stuff off, and then we'll just go through one deck at a time. I know you guys don't love watching people take off tape, so I'm just gonna do that quickly. Be back in 2 milliseconds. All right, I'm back. I've got the tape off these things. I'm gonna pull them out one at a time. Here we go. You just never know how boxes are gonna be packaged, so I tried to prep as much as I can. Anyways, here we go with the edits. Let's just take a look. I'm gonna maybe slide them all out of this one. Oh, there's a few in this one, so pull these all out. Okay, so here is the first one. I'm gonna start this way. All right, so this is the crazy popular, man, that looks so good with that orange and black. But this is the Lurcero bars X2. So it's the X2 Lurcero bars. Such a wicked deck. The X2 was 1987, I believe. Let me just see here. See if I got it on my desk. Yes, the 87 originally with the Schmitt stick was from 1987. And so that's the X2. Killer, man, that looks so good. I love stain decks. I have a lot of Powell decks. I mean, I dig them. The idea was to get kind of like the Bones Brigade guys, like not just the 6 of them, but to expand it out to a lot of the guys that skated with the Bones Brigade. So some of them, like the Nicky Guerrero and stuff, are stained. The vast majority, 90% plus of them, are dips. I prefer stains because my first deck was a Dogtown Aaron Murray and it was a blue stain. Absolutely love that deck. And I love that Black Label does a lot of stains. I think they look so rad. All right, here's the second deck, another X2. Oh, okay, interesting. So we've got the pink on top with the green bottom. Yeah, and it says Lucero 87 down here, so that's cool. So yeah, so this graphic is from 1987, the X2, and that's another 9.5. Man, I didn't know what I was going to think about this green, but I actually really dig it with this pink top. Yeah, that looks wicked. All right, so 2 X2s. See what else we're pulling in here. Here's a 10-inch, and this is the original OG bars from 1986. This was his first Schmitt stick deck with Lurcero skating for Schmitt sticks. Yeah. And so this is 1986, this one. Does it have a date on the graphic? But there you go. That's the yellow top. This one was 1986 though. And this is a 10-inch. Oh, there is? Yeah, it says down here as well. It's hard to see because it's in yellow. It's hard to see, but it's in yellow. But it says 1986 here as well. Man, the orange with the yellow, interesting color choices. This is the kind of stuff that when you first see it, you wonder if you dig it. And then I think that more you see it, the more you dig it. I had a Sims Eric Nash, was my second pro deck, Bandito, and it was kind of like a mustard color like this. And I didn't know if I would like it at the start, but honestly, I love mustard colored stained decks now because of that. And so this is really rad. It's interesting that it's paired with the orange. I mean, it works for sure. And this one is double drilled, so you have like the optional truck placement up top for a wider wheelbase or bigger, shorter nose type thing, depending on how you skate. And that is, again, a 10-inch on that. So these are still in wrap, yeah. Crazy. That's a nice deck. I know lots of guys that love skating these shapes. If you've skated them, definitely put it in the comment. I've skated the 12XU just because my son has one. Yeah, man, those colors are so good. Okay, keep on rolling here. So we burned through 3. Let's see what's happening here. Feels like something's stuck. Okay, there's a bag within a bag. We're just packaging what the kids want. Okay. Oh man, that is so sexy. The OG bars, and you can really see the 1986 on this one. I don't know if that's going to zoom, catch that, but 1986 graphic. Man, that looks so good. The OG bars. Wow, that is a killer graphic, and that's 10 inches wide, double drilled as well. Man, oh, my idea was, because honestly, guys, the deal was so good. I was like, I'll keep a couple of these and maybe sell a couple of them or give them away for Christmas or something because we're coming up like that. And so who knows what I'm going to do with them. When you see them like this, I can fully understand why, Adam collected all of these different ones because they look so killer. Oh, man. Okay, so another OG bars. Look at that, the mustard with the blue on top. Dang, that looks good. That looks killer. So 10 inches. So I have 3 of these now. I've never had the OG bars, and I've never had the 212 or the X2s. I've never had these. So stoked on them. Both in shrink as well. And then finally here, this is the one that I have skated and I've also had that I've sold. And you can go back to my other videos if you want to see a full video on this one and check it out. This one is virtually brand new. Adam did set it up here and it looks killer. All right, so this is the final one here. So 6 decks in total, which is so killer. But this is the 12XU. Yeah, so a lot of people just say the 12XU, but and this one was 89 when it dropped. And so, yeah, so the one that we're missing here, and I'm going to pull it up here just so you can kind of see the, I'll talk through it as we got the screen up, but just so as you can see through it here, we've got initially the Madrid with the Jester on it in 1985. And then he went over to Schmitt Sticks. That's when he did the bar. I guess Madrid ended up putting out a deck with the same graphic, same Jester graphic, but instead of it saying John Lucero, it said like X Rider or something. And that's what introduced John to use some of these X models. He's got the OG bars. Then he went to the X2. that you see there in 87, so the OG bars was 86. And then you see in 87, he's got the X2. In 89, it was the Lurcero Limited. And the one I do not have is the Black Label Lucero, missing in action, the MIA. Now, a lot of the decks, have that on their top graphic, which is kind of rad, but it doesn't have it on the bottom graphic. So, and if you guys can help me on this, if you know, I tried to do some homework on it, and I could not find whether it was, well, some sources said it was like early 90s, some said early 2000s. I'm not 100% sure when that Black Label Lucero MIA dropped. If you guys know, throw it in the comments. Anyways, let's take one more look through these decks. Oh man, I am so stoked on them. This one is killer, and the reason why this one has a special place in my heart is because, like many of you guys, we stopped skating, and years go by, and then all of a sudden, you start to get nostalgic, and you start to look for some of these things. So what happened was my son wanted to get a longboard. I'm like, not doing that. Started to see that there were some of these reissues available. So we lived in BC at the time, and there was this skate/bong shop, and man, you would get so, anyways, it was fresh, the smell in there. So taking my kid in was interesting, to say the least, but the guys were amazing. The shop was just so killer. Same thing, like, back when I went into the basement of John's BMX in Orangeville, skateboards and BMXs, videos going, all the parts. It was just awesome. It brought back so many memories. Anyways, this was the deck that I helped my son put together. So the Black Label Lucero 12, or the 1-2XU, and so this is my son's deck. He doesn't skate it as much anymore now that he's driving, so same thing kind of happened to a lot of us. You get the car, and all of a sudden the skating tends to stop a little bit, especially if you live out in smaller communities where you're driving everywhere and not a lot of opportunity to skate. But yeah, so this was his deck, so it's brought back some, good memories for me, and it was the deck that got me back into skating. So after that, I grabbed my Dogtown Aaron Murray, the reissue, and and have been doing this ever since, like many of you guys. So let's take one more look through it. The deck that brought me back. So this has bones, tail and bones, rib bones. These are the newer ones. You can tell by the 5 holes, double drilled. The one thing that I did find interesting was this one is double drilled. I'm not sure if my son's is double drilled. It might be. Yeah, I think it is as well. Okay. So yeah, so this one is double drilled. Man, that looks so good. I actually love it set up like that as well. He has another one, and he's like, dude, you should buy this one. It's nice and clean, still in the wrap. And I actually really dig this one. So anyways, got that. We have we'll go in order. So the 3 OG bars, the orange with the yellow. Oh man, this one looks so killer. Pink with the blue. Which one do you keep? Oh my goodness. And the mustard color with this blue on top. Man, that looks so good too. I have no clue. I'm gonna have to take a look at them together. What one would you guys keep if I was to keep one of each? So again, we have this yellow one. I've got the pink one, and then yeah, the orange one. Man, that looks so good too. So out of these 3, what are you guys keeping? Put it in the comments. And then for the X2s, we have these guys here. This is like a stained dark green, and this is a black stain, which goes well with my son's deck. And then on the top of the black one is orange, and on the top of the green one, which is an interesting color match, but is pink. So that looks pretty rad. And so yeah, you can see on the top here, you're seeing the MIA kind of vibe, right? The missing in action, but I'll have to look at getting one of those decks as well. And then I'll be keeping this one, so because it's the only one I have, and it's the only version of it. So for the X2s is black or green, and then for the bars, is it the orange, pink, or mustard color? Let me know in the comments. Thanks again, guys, for tuning in. And I do have some other videos that I want to do, and it is starting to slow down for me a little bit here. Now that, you know, we're into the winter, houses aren't moving as much, and so my life as a real estate agent slows down a little bit, gives me a little bit more time to get some videos up. So I'll hopefully do that for you. And yeah, definitely engage, leave the comments, leave the likes. Truly appreciate it all. Cheers. 80s love. Peace out.